Hello, everyone. Welcome to Polkadot broadcast. And this is Kristen. And very happy to actually tomorrow is the final day of 2025, and I think it's very meaningful that we have a chance to have a roundtable to talk about to have a recap of 2025 and have a plan for 2026 because it's very important year for Polkadot in 2025, and Polkadot officially enters into the second age and making a strategy shift from the protocol centric to the product centric, and and on the back of this shift, the priorities of Parity and Web3 Foundation and OpenGov have all undergone very big changes. So I think at this pivotal moment, we need a pivotal moment because there's a deep reform and a structural renewal. So it's very good opportunity for us to get together to explore, what has changed and what it means and where the opportunity lies. So today, join with me is Tyrone from Bifrost and Junior Joe from Papermoon, and also we have another guest, Chris from Open Guild, and he will join us later soon. And without further ado, let's kick things off. And I think for the first part, I would invite each of our guests to, you know, uh, to briefly introduce yourself, give us some background information of your project. But most importantly, I would invite you to share, uh, uh, what would you describe your 2025 and both for Polkadot and for your own project? Who gonna kick it off?
Yeah, maybe I can start at first.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks, Christine, for this AMA session. Yeah, I'm very glad to join the AM today. And as Christine mentioned, tomorrow will be last day of this year. So I wish everyone in Polkadot community have a happy new year. So for Polkadot, I think this year is critical important. I can explain in two facts. First one is for the technical upgrade. Porter just completed all the technical upgrade from 1.0 to 2.0. So in this year, we have core time, we have auto scaling, we have async backing. So everything defined in the Porter 2.0 is ready now. And then finally, we also have our Portal Hub. It already migrate most of important palettes from relation to the hub. So now this is will be the main entry point for any developers in the next year. Of course, the most important thing I think is the PVM and the RUVM is ready. Then we can start to deploy and test some smart contract in our hub. The second thing I think is a strategy change. Since hub is ready, I think the platform is totally okay for any developer to do some innovation. Whether you build something in Solidity or build some native application based on the runtime, this platform is ready. So literally, next strategy should be focused on the product. We need some new product or real Web3 product for the user to utilize our platform. I think that's the whole change or everything happened in 2025 in Polkadot. Next, for Papermoon, we are a company focused on the documentation and the DevRel. So if you are a developer, maybe you noticed since Papermoon took over the documentation work, the content in our documentation website always up to date. Every time if there is some new feature or new project is ready or delivered, you can always see the same thing in the documentation website. That's our hard work. Pavement is the entity behind this kind of hard work. For example, 2 weeks ago, you can see our UI is totally updated. Before there are a lot of items with pink, right? And the website is very colorful. But now we are totally aligned with the Polkadot website. You can see the style just includes some black, white, or green color. So that's also a very big change. Personally, I am very extremely busy in this year. A lot of time spent to learn PVM and REVM, build some demo myself to familiar with some tools like Hard Hat, Foundry, Remix, and not just from the official one, also some custom tools by Polkadot, because we need test the PVM, so we must use customer tools. I also have spent a lot of time to test some most popular applications in the EVM system. For example, the Uniswap, the Open Zeppelin, account abstraction. All those things already well tested in both PVM and REVM. Last thing is we also launched a brand new Polkadot course. Now the course will focus on the Solidity, how to use our hub to implement some new application based on Solidity. So that's everything I want to share for the Parity, Pavement, and myself for last year. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks
Chris,
for
yeah.
thanks for sharing, and what a productive year. And Papermoon, what Papermoon have done make developers' life much more easier. Okay, thanks for everything Papermoon have done for 2025. And I see Chris join us. Hi, Chris. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, thank you for joining us today. I know you are with your family and you are
enjoying your
holiday.
Fine. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, very clearly and loud.
I mean, awesome. I mean, like I would love to participating into this community call and to sharings to first of all to learn about, let's say, Bifrost, Polkadot, and also Papermoon, what you guys are doing as well throughout 2025, and also definitely want to share a little bit about what we are doing at Open Guilds, and also the plan for let's say in the next 3 months at Open Guild with Virtual Foundation, etc. Right?
Yeah, okay. And now we're just get started, and we are in the first section to briefly describe how do you describe your 2025. And now it's I think maybe Tyrone can continue, and then you can prepare for a little bit, and then it's your turn. Okay. Now for Tyrone, and how would you describe your 2025? Yeah, for Polkadot.
Sure.
For your project.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for sharing from juniors. That's quite an important recap from this year. Sorry, I just want to say last year, but it's right now is quite this year at the moment. So in Bifrost, we are a liquid staking stack in Polkadot ecosystem. I've been doing this for 5 years, and today is quite a distant years for us. We've been done on the runtime, can say a lot of technical upgrades during this year by adopting a lot of Polkadot runtime versions like XCM v5, ASIC backing, and we've upgraded our chain. Whether on Kusama or on Polkadot, we have both chains, and we've been done the experimental things and also the production things along the side. So along this year, the productive have been leveling up a couple of months ago. So we've been done like new liquid staking tokens online, and also the new tokenomics mechanism online as well. So I would like to emphasize the most important thing for us is the new tokenomic 2.0 just live the month before last year. It was on September, so it was quite important to buy for us that we first have the revenue sharing model with any one of the in the open gov of Bifrost, and also in the open gov of Polkadot. This is quite an important milestone that we initiated. It's also the first time that the V dot holders, which also the dot holders, have the power to voting via a liquid staking token. That's quite I did not see any of the similar product have done such things in any of the other protocols. So we can say we are the first one to initiate this idea and make it in the production in this year. So that's the reason why I call it distant. The other thing is, of course, based on this year's protocol revenue sharing and the protocol revenue from the last couple of years, Bifrost have growing to a very mature team and also a mature protocol inside of this ecosystem. So we are very glad and exciting to see the Polkadot Hub online, which is also means the PVM will be live, and a lot of teams will be get engaged into the PVM development, and we all see most of the such of Mofo and money market and such of those protocol the scenarios of DeFi can be engaged in this ecosystem. And also we are expecting to see the gem. How does it all work in the building? That's also what the what everybody is discussing in the forum right now. So that's a lot of things that we exciting to talk about, and I think today we'll also talk about what will happen in the next year, what we can see in the future, especially in DeFi in my in my field. So let's see. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And Bifrost is, always in the forefront of in the market and in the Polkadot ecosystem. That's why you are the one of the most active DeFi protocol in this ecosystem. Okay, now let's welcome Chris to, how do you describe your 2025?
Yeah, so in 2025 has been a great year for us. I mean, like OpenGate has been operating for officially 2 years, and 2025 we has been increasing, like developer communities, not just in big city, but also all the other cities in different countries as well in South Asia market, where we establishing a lot of agreement with different developer communities and also university as well to like promoting the tech stack of Polkadot, right? Not just including not just Polkadot SDK, but also has been pushing a lot of effort in terms of creating the narrative that Polkadot now is open not just for building a chain, right, but also building application on Polkadot Hub in Q1 2026 as well. So we has been trying to focus it on that front, and it has been going really good. That's why we gain trust with Tree Foundations to work together, repairing one of the biggest we can call it one of the biggest community campaign to launching Polkadot Hub in Q1 2026, doing a Polkadot hackathon, right? Where we focusing on like trying to get a lot of developer to hack or maybe like build MVPs, new products on the hub with the focus on DeFi and AI and consumer in general. Yeah, so that has been what we're doing. And when also, talking about increasing exposure for Polkadot and OpenQ as well, which is we has been working a lot with a few other partners in Korea, right? Because Korea has been not really um, like exploring by Polkadot ecosystem before. But this year we also collaborate with a lot of people in Korea to, first of all, to updating what Polkadot has been done in 25, and also like the narrative and also the test stack offering, the product offerings that we want builders in Korea to have a look, and also exploring, especially when Polkadot Hub launching, right? Because Korea has been a really big market aside with China in DeFi and also trading, etc. Right? So so OpenGill has been doing that for a while and it has been going good. But yeah, for now, what we do is like preparing a lot of things for Q1 26. Most of the our focus and dedication and also like effort to do partnership is focusing for Q1 26, where we launching the one of the biggest hackathons for Web3 Foundations, focusing on the hub. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And it's always to have you here, Chris. That it's always it's always good to have you here because we can, feeding the missing message that what is happening beside China.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's move to juniors and Polkadot's transition from a protocol centric model to a product centric one is built on the foundation of a maturing protocol layer. And we've seen the revive proposal being actively pushed forward ahead of the holidays. And so I want to invite you to share with our audience that what exactly is revive and what does it technically and structurally enable, and what does revive mean for Polkadot's next stage of development.
Okay, sure. So actually, I explained this concept before many times, but still some people in the community have a misunderstanding for this concept. Because this one is really complicated. So I'd like to spend some time to explain it. So at first, we should know what's the POC-VM, right? So POC-VM or PVM is a new virtual machine based on RISC-V instruction. So it's implemented by the parity. I think that's a fundamental component of Polkadot 2.0. It's an execution environment for the smart contract, and also in the future, execution environment for the gem. For PVM, actually, you can implement some smart contract in different program language like Rust, like C. But the problem is most of contract developer they are more familiar with Solidity EVM things. So we really need some tool or compiler can convert the EVM bytecode to PVM bytecode. So that's why we have this tool, Revive. So at the same time, we also need a new palette to integrate the PVM into Polkadot runtime. Then the Polkadot load can execute or run the PVM bytecode, right? Of course, if you ask someone to give a palette name for the PVM, most people will be choose the contract platform. But unfortunately, this name already used by Ink. Ink is a very old contract platform before. So that's why we also use the Revive as a palette name. So at this time, maybe you can think Revive is for both tool and also the palette. But later, Polkadot just decided also introduce the REVM. REVM is the virtual machine complete compatible with EVM in the Ethereum network. This execution environment also integrated to the Revive palette. So now the things becomes complicated, but in most of cases, Revive means the dual VM execution environment for both PVM and REVM. So you can understand the Revive in this way. I think it is more appropriate. Revive, I think, is the most important thing for the hub because it provides the execution environment for a smart contract. You mentioned that of PRs about the Revive recently, because as I know, Parity just put a lot of R&D resource to improve the Revive and make it stable. So that's why we can say Revive already in the Kusama, in the testnet, and will be on the Polkadot Hub next month, right? So I think everyone should already read this news. So Revive, I think is really kick off the Polkadot for the second stage. It make the massive application deployment possible in the hub. I think that's my understanding for the Revive component.
Okay, thanks for sharing. It's really the foundation of how the Polkadot entering into the second age. Okay, I think Polkadot is really for the developers, and so how to attract developer is very important. And for example, and what Open Guild always did is hold hackathons or of and so on. So for the next question, I wanna invite Chris to share what do when you hold hackathons, and for example the hackathon you are going to hold in 2026 soon in the Q1, and so where do the developers participating in this hackathon mainly come from, and how do you identify and reach and attract high quality developers into Polkadot ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, actually, this question is quite interesting when we Open Git teams and Web3 Foundation has been debating for a while. The main objective of 26 hackathon has been trying to, let's say, boosting the backs, right? Because parity companies, they want to get more feedback from the smart contract side they want to get more, like feedback and also experiencing, hands-on experiencing from, mass developer communities, to first of all just testing the chain, right? And secondly, is to getting a lot of feedback on different angle to improve before they launching for commercial, right? However, after the success, I mean, we're considering the success of Polkadot builder parties with more than 2,000 developer in different countries across the globe, right? To you know tinkering different types of products and launching different types of small products to testing on Polkadot SDK, and maybe even that launching small contract on Moonbeam as well. However, we have the our internal experience is that because we giving uh the allowance for developer to build anything that they want, which is make them trying to like vibe coding a lot of AI generated topics, right? That's why the outcome has not been very solid, and that's why we has been spending like 2 months to repairing a few different types of criteria and also materials to, let's say, have some sort of curated requirement and filtering quality developers, especially for this 2026 hackathon. So I will give first of all I will giving a general overview of what we do in Q1, right? So general this hackathon, you guys can click like find a link called polkadot.hackathon.com. It's very straightforward domain, right? Because we want to make it very simple for especially for SEO, right? I mean, everyone can check it out on Google search. But we what we do is that we has been partnering with different types of very key chosen partner in different countries across APAC, because for myself I has been have connection in APAC, and also especially for example like Polkadot has been helping us a lot in terms of connecting different partners in China as well. But yeah, we has been focusing on APAC market and a little bit in Africa and US as well. But we partner with a few chosen partners to do different types of coding challenge, code camp in different universities. But as long as it has to be very qualities and there are some sort of like responsibilities uh, binding, right? Which is the university itself need to deliver, out the expected outcome that we want, including getting a lot of developer feedback and also finding teams first of all like mentorings and finding developers in those university and invite 1v1 to participate into the hackathon. And basically before that the 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 thesis of a Polkadot community is that it's just hosting the hackathon and wait for developer, right? But now we're trying to do it by we choosing, we fighting, and also we inviting um, developers in our network to participate in this hackathon as well. Through those coding challenges and also those very small meetup and online workshop communities call, etc. Try to do that, as good as possible. And right now we have in Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, India, and China as well. We partnering with each other to creating, synchronous and a big coding challenge from January to mid February, to hands-on and inviting new developer and also quality developer as well to try the smart contract player on Polkadot Hub, right? And in the in the middle of February, we will officially promoting the hackathon, and there are a lot of like materials that we're repairing, blog article, videos to make sure that we creating a good funnels to onboarding developer as easy as possible, and also we having a curated list that our internal OpenU teams preparing and curating in the last month, around 100 ideas that we try to make it making sense that those projects might be create some sort of value for the ecosystem, right? So developer who participating into the hackathon will be recommended to build those ideas, right? Not just tinkering software like ba- i- if you check several previous hackathon, it usually like some ideas like come from like 10 years ago, right? And we don't want it anymore. So that's why we recommend builders to build the projects based on the curated list that we prepare, and that to try to filtering and make sure that those MVP, those projects coming out from uh, from the hackathon will be quality. And also we have a very concrete list of judgings criteria to make sure that those projects need to be solid before they can potentially to be judged, and also getting the prize. um, yeah, so that is the general information. And for now, the developer community coming from right now, we having 35 community partners that we has been onboarding in the last 2 months. And if you guys can see that in the website, those will helping us in terms of creating social noise in different social media, right, including Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, etc. In different types of format, video, blog, short content, threads, and even that some of the partner will do very small meetup in their local communities, to inviting and promoting Polkadot Hub, the 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 possibilities to building on Polkadot Hub as well. And we try to get those developers come from APAC. I mean, like I'm trying to focusing on APAC, right? Because it's my expertise, and those developer will come to the hackathon and participating, and we will have quickly even that daily uh, online workshop, not just technical perspective, but also technical securities, marketing, business, and investment as well. I also invited a few expertise in um, in DeFi, let's say coming from CapDAOs or maybe like Panda Finance, or I'm trying to get more speaker from Ethereum side to come and speak in these workshop as well to create more value and more like more knowledge for those new developers so they can build quality products, right? And secondly, we will try to do a lot of office hour online so we can responding daily on daily basics about all the questions that those developers want to know, and when they have problem to build, right? And we're partnering with Papermoon team as well to help us in terms of DevRels, daily support for those developer to like get to make sure that they won't have any problem, and they feel that we have a very professionals and high response like technical support, right? Which is always good to create good feeling for developer to be confident to build on top of Polkadot, right? So that's what we are doing, and we haven't posted anything on X yet because like we still waiting for officially coming to 2026 and having more announcement, etc. Have a few different types of like videos and promotion materials to posting on our X. Yeah, so that's the plan, and hopefully you guys can, if you are watching this live stream, hopefully you guys can following, let's say Polkadot APAC account, maybe like Polkadot X official account, or maybe like OpenGill account to preparing and waiting for more information. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen how many works you've done to preparing the hackathon, and but here's the thing that we can see a lot of a project won award but then disappeared. So how do you feel? How do you view this phenomenon? What need to change?
I definitely agree with you. I mean, to be fair, if you ask a lot of people who has been interact with me, I always try to have 1v1 call with those people to debate on, how we can improve that, because I know the problem and a lot of people know the problem as well. uh and I do think that there are a few, barriers for developer to build, right? First of all, before that, we haven't yet having any, smart contract layer that accrue value for that token, which is they had to be launching on Moonbeam, because it was the uh, the main focus. I mean, like the smart contract layer has been outsourced to Moonbeam ecosystem, right? But I think that there has been some sort of miscommunication and creating some sort of confusion for developer when they build on top of Polkadot, because they don't know, hey, so if they build on Polkadot, so what types of value that is bring to that token as well. But right now we already have, so I think the first thing is that we fix the communication to Polkadot Hub, right? We tell the communities that, hey, if you participating in building on Polkadot Hub, then is creating economic value for that token, and also creating a, it's creating a good flywheel in terms of economy, where developer can gain a lot of benefit as well in terms of, like profit revenue for the projects, when it's also creating revenue for the blockchain as well. Then it's creating a whole flywheel for the economic perspective. And secondly is that I I think that we hasn't yet having very concrete post campaign communication, right? Where all the builders, they 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 completing their hackathon, and they having strong MVP, but the, let's say, the run applications, or not just even run. I mean, run is just a part of it, but but some projects definitely don't need to have brand to build on top of Polkadot, right? I mean, even other chain as well, as long as they see the value, then they can build. So it's not just because of the brand application, but also how we actually aggressively support teams, right? That's why like OpenGill has been spending a lot of times with relation to helping a lot of teams to apply to the grant in the last 4 years. Sorry, in the last 4 months, and also onboarding a lot of teams to the DeFi builders program of Velocity as well, which is there are a few teams already got approved for cohort 1 and cohort 2. I'm not sure yet what the current progress, because it's in a mandate of Velocity teams, but yeah, what we have done is that we're trying to communicate and also collaborate with different teams in BDs and DevRels to make sure that those teams will be having some sort of resources support and aggressive communication to make sure that they feel bullish when they build on Polkadot, right? And also they have enough information, material, resources to complete their products on Polkadot. Um, so I think it has been mostly about communications. It has to be have higher response time, right? Um, and I do believe that OpenGill has been doing you know pretty good, and having satisfied from Web3 Foundations and parity teams. I mean, yeah, in terms of getting teams to onboarding the chain. Um, So especially with this Polkadot hackathon in Q1, so we have already repair. First of all, filtering. We don't want 1,000 projects to apply the hackathon. Right? To be fair, I mean that's not what we do, but we want quality teams that build quality MVP. Right. So we don't spend time to judging inequalities products, right? But focusing on more qualities dedicated teams that they want to use blockchain as one of the components to like reducing operation costs of the products, and also like utilizing Web3 as one of the um, like advantage to increase the revenue stream in different way, royalty, etc., right, and transaction fee, etc. Um, yeah, so that what we do. And I mean, let's try to see with if everything going well in Q1, because definitely is also need to be aligned with what Perry is doing, focusing on product, etc. Because we know that they're building a few strong pipeline products that focusing on consumer apps, right? And it would be nice that we can see a few community products can provide, possibilities in to integrate directly to those primitives that Perry is building. Then it's creating, first of all, the benefit for the chain itself, the benefit for what Perry is building, and also which is creating a lot of benefit back to the community builders as well when they have the satisfactions of Polkadot stakeholders, and also getting more resources for them to build on top of Polkadot. Yeah.
Okay. We can see that how complicated and painful it is to attract real developers to produce real products in Polkadot ecosystem. Really appreciate the work that OpenGuild have done. Now let's move to Tyrene. And Bifrost is one of the most active DeFi project in the Polkadot ecosystem. And from your perspective, where do you see the main growth opportunities for Polkadot DeFi? And what are the key bottlenecks or structural limitations holding it back?
Yeah, sure. For Polkadot DeFi, the opportunity that I can see is the Polkadot Hub. The first thing is easier for the developers to come in and build for DeFi. In the past of couple of years, the time have proved that the power chain or the core time is not the proper way for the developer to come in and easy to build for, maybe 3 or 5 days or 1 week to build a easily integrated DeFi protocol. It's not quite achieved, by the time being. So the Polkadot DeFi may have more chances for the builders to come in, and they will be more easier to fork an existing projects to Polkadot. So start there first, and we can see some impact. On the other hand, is where the liquidity comes from. So first thing is that developer can easily to get engaged, and second thing is the liquidity. So the liquidity right now, it's actually coming from institutions more a proper way for the current circumstances, because I mean, like the DeFi map or the map of the blockchains right now have been changed, which is shifting from the DAO or the community liquidity from the users to an institutional way. So which like most of the stable coin protocols that you can see on the current market, all of them are backing by a hedge fund on institution. So I mean the map and the structure have to change in this industry. So if the Polkadot DeFi want to growth in the 2026, we need to see something like that. So that's the first. That's the answer for the first question. The second one is the key bottleneck and the structural limitations. I can say the main challenges for the current DeFi industry is you cannot make everything transparent on chain. What I mean by that is you cannot make the settlement of the banking, the settlement of the financial or hedge funds liquidity, that all can be easily proven on the blockchain. All of the, I mean, most of those settlements are still in off-chain. I'll give you a simple case. Is that I think this is 2 months ago, right? There's the big breaking news about SUSD have been hacked out, and they've been run away from the liquidity because they are liquidated. It caused by they are running their business by using the black box. Their liquidity can be easily controlled by the team off chain, but nothing can be proven on chain, so nobody can see what's actually happened to their, quoted dot neutral stablecoin. That's the reason why I say that a lot of things is not transparent enough for the current scale, because the current scale is institutionally, and institutional products, they cannot prove they are fully transparent. And the trend right now is to build something product like delta neutral and also perpetual products. And this kind of product, we are now depending on the off-chain and also the Oracle to get the price from off-chain, and also the settlement. If you're setting up a long or short positions, is also setting up in the centralized exchange rather than the on-chain exchange. So that's quite a big challenge right now, but it is also the great way to see that if we can encounter this, if we can passing through this in the next year, and we'll see more skeleton of this industry going on. Yeah, that's mostly I want to share about. And yeah, recently I see a product which named Liminal. I think that's a product that let me check this out. I think that's a team actually belongs to a Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid is that easy. You can do short options and also perpetual, right, in that product. And they have a team who is building a stablecoin, and that stablecoin is backed by the mechanism of Hyperliquid. So which means if you're setting up any of the position of long or short, you can easily setting it up on chain. I tried by myself, and I can easily customize my positions, and you can see each position is setting up on chain in their transactions. So comparing to other delta neutral products that you cannot see anything about your operations. So this is a quite big progress from what I've seen. So I would like to see more something cases like this in the next year, and that will be the breaking through of this current bottleneck right now.
Okay, thanks for sharing. The bottleneck is always the opportunity, and the Polkadot Hub is, all the community is waiting for. Okay, thanks for sharing. Now we have two more topics to touch on, and they are, free. All of you guys can free to join. The first one is about the impact. Today, the work of Parity and Web3 Foundation is fully aligned aligned around the product first strategy. So we've seen a series of major changes, and which is huge. For example, the bounties being closed, the DV programs paused, even the top media in Polkadot ecosystem, the coups, their funding has been halted. So there's a lot of changes. So have these changes had any impact on your project in the short term or the long term? And more broadly, what do you think of this means for the Polkadot ecosystem as a whole, and both near term and long term? So who gonna kick it first? And
I can say first. So I would say that from my point of view is that it doesn't have any like big impact for myself. Well, I for for myself, I do think that especially with OpenGill, we create a decent values that we can keep working with the ecosystem to boosting the product side. Let's say instead of finding uh, like more community developer to build different types of products, but instead we were focusing more on the product marketing side where we promoting and inviting, let's say, business partners or maybe like integration partners for those products built by Paris to in APAC market, for example, like that, right? That might be an angle. As long as we can be very optimizing and creating the return on investment better than the input, then it's definitely like reasonable for us. And secondly is that with all the haltings and also operation pulse from different types of bodies and also let's say the code as well. I I don't really have um a big comment here, right? But more from my point of view is if we keep it simple, then it's simple for the ecosystem to roll back to the root and then focusing on creating revenue from a chain, which is good in long term, right? So yeah.
okay. Have you ever concerned about if the funding for next year was halted or something? What would you do?
I mean, for OpenGill, right? I mean, I would keep it very simple, right? Because if uh, I do think that party and motivation know what is the best for the user, right? Because they have a big stack, right? They have a lot of token that they need to pump, right? So they need to pump to create valuation, bigger variations, and creating benefit from the ecosystem and also the the company perspective as well. So so I do think that if they feel what OpenGill is doing good or not, then they can continue to support, and we can have a lot of negotiating and also, have some sort of change in terms of what we do in our mandate, and as long as we can satisfying the outcome of the strategy that party and budget relation are trying to do, then it's all good. And if it's not, then it's totally fine. I mean, to be friendly, right? Um, I mean, in OpenGill team, we are a very dedicated teams of skilled people, and we should not worry in our future when we can definitely find another angle to build our career. Right? I mean, it's totally reasonable for us, and I don't feel any, like concern here. It's only teams that doesn't have enough quality skill, they might be concerned, but for us, we don't have any concern. If we talk, communicate with tribulation and party, they understand our value. They considering our value can be optimized and continue in 26 to align with their strategies. Then we can continue with that. It's not a big deal for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see that you're very optimistic about that. So, how about the other two speakers? What's your take on that? And juniors,
Yeah,
Ju-
yeah, I can. Yeah, I can share some my insight for this topic. So basically, I'm a technical person. I just need to know very little about the business stuff. Yeah, I also noticed this change. I think it's bad news for some project if they can't continue to get the funding or financial support from Parity or from Web3 Foundation. Now, for Paper Moon, as I know, we didn't impacted by this strategy because Paper Moon have a separate channel to get those funding. It's like a contract. It's not from OpenGov or something, because our work is very concrete and easy to measure. For example, how many web pages we delivered in the documentation website. So all those things it's very easy to measure by and also can be done in the contract. So in the short term, I guess we will have some impact. For example, the exposure in the media or some marketing work will be affected. Some people maybe left this ecosystem to get some new job or new opportunities. But for the long term, I think is a right things to do. Now we should focus on the real product, put more resource, especially now the resource is very limited to implement some killer application. So for the long term, I'm still very optimistic about Polkadot. But to be honest, the situation is not very good for now, or should be much better. So I hope in the next year we can really put those resources in some product or application. Yeah, that's my insight for this.
Okay, thank you. So it's very optimistic for the long term, but we have to figure out how to survive in the short term. Okay. How about Tyrone? What's your take on this?
Yeah, I think two other guests have been made very great conclude about this. The only concern from me is about I don't know. I'm not quite sure if the Parity have enough capability for the liquidity to incentivize the DeFi coming in. So that's the only concern like I raised here. But I quite fully understand and agree that this right now the shifting of the power that Parity wants to control is the end game of social experiment. And we can see that DAO management and also the OpenGov management of this of the passing of the few years is not quite efficiency, especially in the funding and also the treasury proposals, because after you giving the money out and you cannot control and you don't have a very restricted outlines about how to following up the progressing of each proposals. So I think that's the problem that we can see, that the projects have been got the funding from the OpenGov. We cannot see what's the detail that they've done after they got the fund and what's the progress of the program. So that's the problem. And now the shifting from the powering back to the Parity Foundation maybe can make things more efficient. And I would like to see how does the next step that Parity will take and to make everything grounded up in the next year.
Yeah, we can see the next year is very important because we have to admit that from now we already can feel that the community, the sentiment, has reached a very low point, and even though we are very optimistic for the long term, but we can't ignore the community's feelings. So looking ahead, can 2026 truly re-energize the Polkadot community? And when do you see the key inflection points that could restore confidence and momentum? This is very critical and crucial topic. So,
I mean, from my point of view, the low sentiment.
Hi, Chris. I think we lost. Okay.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, wait a minute. So from my point of view, right? I mean, the low sentiment is coming from different community as well, not just poker community as well. So from from my side, I'm really bullish that it might be up only from here, right? Because we are all saying here in the bear market until if we can stay here, then definitely we can get a lot of incentive in long term. So I don't really see any concern from my side where I'm right now in the very good positions for the market because I has been here for a while, right? And then I I I think that the low sentiment make the communities, like have to step back a little bit and think more about what can be done properly, and they need to focusing on creating, very solid, outcome, not just values. Let's say, impression on X, or maybe like I don't know, the social resent, or maybe like 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 getting football players to wearing Polkadot logo T-shirt, right? I mean, it might be um a result, but in long term, then we definitely have to think about something else, and this low sentiment creating that opportunities for the community's member who's still staying, right, to think more and contribute what they think making sense to, like accrue value for that token. Yeah. So so from my side, I'm pretty bullish for 26. I don't know
Mhm.
about other people, but like I'm always in very positive position for myself. Yeah.
Okay. It's always good to be bullish. Okay. So, how about the other two speakers?
Yeah, I think I can totally understand some disappointment in the product community. Uh, but in this year, I think the situation is much better than 2024.
Mm.
I have to say we already went through the most difficult time because I remember that in last year, we have really anything to share with the community. Most of the developer don't have some platform to try something easily, right?
Mhm.
Because we don't have a smart contract, we don't have hub. And if you try to build a new parachain, actually you need a lot of talented engineer, also build some concrete product so they can survive. Only project, I mean, like Moonbeam or Bedfirst, they really have their special product and talented people, they can continue. Most of Peloton team just go to other ecosystem and discontinue in Polkadot. So, but I think this year is much better, as I can really feel it, because more people will come to me, ask if I can really build something in Hub. For example, how to choose the PVM or IVM, what's the pros and cons for both virtual machine. So I think in next year, the situation will be much better after we deliver the both virtual machine, and then the hub is really ready for the developer to try something. Of course, I think we still need to do a lot of hard work. For example, to attract more talented developers, and also I think we should try to ask some project to migrate product from other ecosystem to the product or to our hub, because the most of popular applications like DeFi, like AI, we can provide the same execution environment as in the Ethereum. So I think that's the very important thing. We try to persuade some popular project also deploy their application in the hub. If we can really have some killer applications, the community will be go to maybe high sentiment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. From the technical perspective, that we are actually more ready than before, and there are more chance that there will be depths that boosted the community in the future. Okay.
Yeah, I believe this.
Yeah. So Tyrone, do you have something to share? I think your microphone is muted. No, I cannot hear you. Okay. I think Tyrone lost the internet. We can wait for him for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Hi, Chris. So how long is your holiday?
I mean, I just started my holiday today. I mean, I has been working. Yeah, I mean, we has been working. Like across Christmas, to be honest. Like, because in Vietnam we don't really have the official Christmas holiday though. So
Oh.
yeah, so we still has been working across the holiday that people from other continents spending time with family, etc. But yeah, I mean, I try to spend some time on a very slow sentiment on the internet, and spend more time with family from today until the next 3 days. Yeah, I mean, trying to spend a little bit more time with family until I can start coming back and then prepare for the hackathon, because it's very definitely one of the most important um like initiative that we need to accomplish, to also make sure that we're creating good value for poker communities, and also getting consideration from the stakeholders for us to keep continuing operation, right? That one of the, yeah, so that's our focus right now. So I need to spending more time to focusing on that after our holiday. Yeah. So we don't intend to spend too much time, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Tyrone's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Am I good here?
Yeah,
You hear
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I cannot more than agree with Junior's and Chris' point. The only one sentence that I want to say is that based on the foundation of the technical power of Polkadot, that what use case what we can build and what we can promote is the most important thing in the next year. And I think the only usable use case that we can see is DeFi so far. Regarding like NFTs, gaming on the blockchain is not the right time, is not proper at the moment to pushing forward. And I think in the last couple of years, Parity is what like focusing on the gaming and also NFT, but it was not quite efficient that we see that we can see any of the result from it. And now I'm very glad to see that Parity is shifting their eyes on DeFi and also Polkadot Hub with the DeFi developer programs, right? That's a quite good way that we can see something will happen. If we are pushing this angle forward, then we may have opportunity to let the market see us from that angle. So that might be a good chance for us, a good chance for the growing of the reviving of the next year. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we can see that there's really a great opportunity for 2026, and everyone is keep closely on that. So hope that uh, if, hope that 2026 can give us very good surprise. So I think that's all for today. We've touched all the topics, and regarding the second age, regarding the product DeFi, and thanks for every speakers for sharing, and thanks audience for watching, and we will keep closely on the progress of the Polkadot development, and the each project's progress. So I think stay tuned, and looking forward for our next conversation. And that's all for today. And have a good time, and Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New
Hey,
Year,
Happy New
guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay, see you.
Bye. See
Thanks. Bye
you.
bye.